Hey guys, today's a bit of a different video because we're going to be saying goodbye to Perapotamia. And no, I'm not blowing it up. I'm not going to stop playing on the world. I'm instead going to be venturing off to start over. I'm going to leave all of my stuff behind, all my tools, all my cool farms, and I'm going to be starting progression over again. Because that's just what I like to do. I did it for Perapotamia, and I'm going to do it again. So before that, I wanted to just record a little tour really soon after the last tour. But this one just for Perapotamia. And really just going to show especially the things that I didn't show on a video because, I don't know. I just wanted somewhere this whole thing to exist. So first building. This is the first building I made. It's very similar to basically all of the first buildings I make in every world or server. I really need to branch out. Remember, I put a copper golem here, one to try and help me sort because I didn't know how they worked and I didn't realize they couldn't reach. I got a composter here, but yeah, very simple. The second building I made was this fishing shack. I really don't like it right now, to be honest, but I don't think I could bear to tear it down. I just wanted a place to fish safely over the water, and I tried with these campfire little docks, and it's okay, but this box is not very okay, but it's fine. It's staying. The third thing I did was make this enchanting room, which I turned into a brewing room, which I got quite a lot of use out of. I filled up quite a lot of these chests with potions. But now I don't use it because I have the brewer. So here we got the library / the museum. I hope to put more exhibits in. So we just got one dragon egg, some first stuff. Because Perapotamia was partially made to test out the copper equipment, so the first copper pickaxe is kind of cool. And over here I got the old world's armor and all their tools. And here's the book for the old world as well. And in the upper level, got an enchanting setup, which I don't use because it's too far away from my XP farm. But I do store my enchanted books here, which means that I have to walk all the way back and forth whenever I need to grab one. But yeah, and there is a third level, which just has a map that I never really finished. I should probably update it. Wow, I actually could update it quite a lot. But this is a cool little picture. I didn't even get to the little water paths. I didn't have this bridge up. Wow, that's pretty cool. On this side, we just got a bridge to the nether portal. And all my skeleton horses that I never did anything with. And over here we got a horse stable of sorts. I really wanted to get a really good horse. I stopped short after I got a pretty good horse though. So yeah, but this is a little area that I can test their speed on, and I can count the berries that it takes for them to get to the end. And I got a book with all of my horses with their speeds. I didn't really test most of their jumps, which is what the second floor is for. I just got a little hurdle of a bunch of heights to test their jumps. As far as I know, that's as high as horses can jump. I don't think I have a horse that can jump that high. But the main thing is the speed, and I got it pretty close. I think I was 1 block per second slower than the max speed. Because this is how I calculated it, and being the number of berries. And Geronimo was my first one. He's actually a wild one, so all this was completely worthless because I could have just found him on a hill somewhere. And his speed was 37 berries. It took only 37 berries for him to get to the other side of this, which is pretty cool. So for the river, I got all these little parkour platforms made of varying plants, which I thought was really cool and fun. But I also got 2 bridges on the outsides. This bridge was one of the earlier things I built. Looks pretty cool. It just happens to be over the slime farm, which is especially cool. Yeah, this path just comes around to the overhang. And now this was a natural overhang. I think I touched up the floor, like there was a lot of water running through here. And obviously I touched up the walls to give them the little trim. But wow, it's just so lush down here. So beautiful. I have a bunch of villagers trapped in this wall. They're probably going to be there forever. Poor guys. You know, if this was real life, they'd suffocate. Anyways, over here I got where my next storage room was. Had a lot more chests. I tried out copper golems, even more here. It was actually not that bad. They were very stupid. So they also oxidized and died. And I've got some ecosystem domes. Now the goals with these was to make some pretty farms. And I think I definitely achieved that. The farms that I have are not very useful most of the time. The most useful one I have is for the chicken. But this guy keeps eating half the produce. Which is part of why I put so many berries in here, because I was hoping that if his mouth was full of berries, then he wouldn't eat the chicken. But it's fine. So, yeah, we got this dome generating eggs, which gets funneled into adult chickens over here. We got this one where I used the golden dandelion on a bunch of weak baby pandas. And baby pandas have a chance to drop a slime ball when they sneeze. And the weak ones sneeze more frequently. So this is a slime farm. I have 2 slime farms. And this one's awful. And I got a sniffer dome, which I didn't really decorate, unfortunately. It just gives the sniffer seeds. I've got Mushroom Island that doesn't do anything. And it has a hole in it. And I've got the armadillos, which make scoots. Which is very nice. Now, deeper in the underground section, we have this big area that kind of acts as a tree farm. I mostly really just use it for oak and spruce, but I did cut down the dark oak and pale oak. On the right, I've got a bunch of animal farms, most notably the sheep shearer. Because I made a lot of rainbow buildings around this time, so I needed the whole rainbow. And I've got basically every animal in here with an auto looting killer for these guys. And the fox that doesn't eat the produce is holding a looting sword for the rabbits, which is very cool. I've got 2 of a lot of the animals in here. I've got a lot more of the goats. I was really trying to figure out how to get goat horns, but I think I really need screaming goats to do that, which is why there's so many. And I don't think any of them are screaming goats. Then, what wasn't shown in the videos that I expanded a little bit this way, added a snow farm, and a turtle farm of sorts. I had a little more room over here, and I added some villagers to trade the berries, the meat, leather, wool, and feathers. Very cool. Oh yeah, this is how much slime that is generated in a very long time. A very, very long time. Yeah, pretty rough. And in this wing, we've got a storage room made of copper golems, which I would not recommend anyone actually do, because they're pretty slow. I would actually recommend people do it for a first storage area, because it's very cheap and easy. But for a storage area as big as this one, do something else, please. It's just so slow. Because no matter how many golems I put in, it is always going to take 15 minutes for an item to get over here. Putting more golems in just makes them pick up more items at a time, basically. Oh, and this piston door, like, oh my god, I'm so proud. This is probably my proudest achievement in this entire place. My 3x3 piston door that I built without a tutorial. I'm like not that good at redstone, so I mean, clearly I'm okay because I can do this, but I'm very proud of this. It's very cool. So behind the door, though, is the entrance to the Nexus, which I didn't really decorate very creatively. But if I break this lodestone, it's gonna teleport me to the Nexus, which is really cool. And over here, I've got the mine shaft that I reclaimed. But first, there's some villagers on the right side. Whenever I dig out a big area in stone, I just sell the stone and the diorite and the granite and the andesite. So to get to the mine shaft, we got this nice minecart rail, which is very cool. And the main reason that I was here is because of these zombie spawners. I got a double zombie dungeon on the same Y level 2. So cool. And they get funneled into here, which is pretty awesome, pretty awesome. I really hate dungeon XP farms. I don't think I ever want to do one again, to be honest. So, yeah, now I know. And I got some cleric villagers here to sell the rotten flesh. And hopefully get some bottles of enchanting for even more XP. And then after that, I made a double spider spawner farm. I think it's possible that there's like another one over here close enough, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they've got an off switch too, collected by an LA. He's so nice. There was a second one, but it escaped, and I know where it is. It like flew straight up into a water cave and is currently drowning, but it won't die because it has regeneration, because LAs just have regeneration. Oh, and then over here we got a villager breeder. I had to break the middle block because that guy lost his job. Poor guy. I got deep slate emerald ore here, which I went mining so much just to try and find one of these to decorate in here. And I put it here. I don't know if it's a good spot, but it's where it is. Over here I got my curing station. I can line 4 of them up and shoot a weakness arrow through all of them with piercing. In this direction we got an amethyst geode that I'm not going to deal with. We got a slime farm, which is probably like the best contribution to the world that Perapotamia currently has. We got tons of slime. Hell yeah. And then the latest thing that I made was this auto brewer, which I'm honestly not terribly proud of it because it's so poorly made back here. Like, I don't even want to look at it. But it is effective, and I got a bunch of potions. I moved most of these from the upstairs, but I did actually use it to brew things. And then what I didn't show in a video was that I made a silverfish XP farm here, which, yeah, fuck it, I'll clean it. Which I made a very grave error by not actually like building it out of something. Oh god, I gotta turn this down. I didn't build the walls of this place, of the chamber, out of something that they can't infest. So I'm pretty sure that it's possible for them to break out. And it did happen. That's why we got some... Why is there a hole there? There was probably a silverfish. I'm very concerned. But it's very fast. I got 10 armadillos up there, taking damage, generating silverfish. And I'm just getting XP. Yeah, that's all. I'm gonna walk away now, because that's gonna keep going for 3 minutes. So yeah, that is about it for Perapotamia. I made this settlement because I was returning to this world after a few updates had come out. So I wanted to actually test out the progression. And I feel that I've achieved that. And I've contributed by making a big slime farm, making a wool farm, arguably getting all of those animal farms, although I think it's just going to be less effective than just getting animals normally. And I learned about copper golems a whole bunch. I made a froglight farm. Now, one thing I wanted to do was do like a little before and after of this area. So here's this angle. Wow, it looks so different actually. I clearly shaved down this area to make the entrance. This is where the house was. Right, oh yeah, right, probably right here. Yeah, this is the natural overhang. Arguably looks worse now that I fixed up the wall, but choice I made. There's a lot more water here. Oh yeah, I filled out this little circle to add another dome. There's all the water in the underhang or the overhang. Obviously, there's not much before and after I can show down there. Yeah, this is very cool, very cool. So here is the original of the mine shaft. The double spider spawner. And then the double zombie spawner for here. Yo, there's not a second zombie spawner anymore? I didn't change versions that much. What? I'm actually kind of confused. Because yeah, there was a... It was like right here. And now it's not. I updated one version. I didn't think it would do that. Huh. It's odd. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed being along for the ride for Perapotamia. I hope that the next one will be even more spectacular, more enjoyable, more exciting. All the good things. And I'll see you then. Adios.